saying yes to more things
Okay.
at that point in my life, and I was just like, look, we in it. Let's go all the way. There's no need to half step. Like if someone is saying, hey, you could do this, do it again, and they see something in me, I'm like, okay, it's gonna be tough, but let's jump in both feet and figure it out. As soon as you walk in, you have your plan. Everything's like, yeah, I got this plan. I got this plan. As soon day one, that plan is gone. So it's resetting. It's just like my first year all over again. It's a learning curve again. Like, and this one's in a different market than I'm used to. So the people talk to you different. Everything is just different. So there's having it at the time it came was perfect. I'm not gonna lie. Even though we have our staffing issues now post COVID, I still wouldn't change it. I know we're gonna struggle. I'm prepared to do that for a little while, and then once we work the kinks out for that one, it'll roll just like this one. It'll be another machine that's just automatic. You just gotta take the opportunity when it's presented and not when it's convenient. It's kind of what I learned. I've been learning from this whole experience.
Presented and not convenient. I do like that. We talked a little bit about you. We'll get back to some more stuff about you. Can you tell
Okay.
people why they need insurance? Because before we got on here, I just opened up. I was like, I didn't get insurance till I had kids. I didn't see a point for it. I just told you that flat out. I was
Right.
like,
Right.
okay, I have kids now. If something happens to me, I want to take care of them. And then
Right.
you kind of tell people different reasons they need it, different levels, things like that. Because I don't know a lot about insurance. Like it's
Right.
offered. I'm like, okay, yeah, me put me on here, my children, and then I go from
Right.
there. Can you tell me a little bit about that?
So first off, like I said, good on you for having it. Period, because we have two very sizable books of business, and if I had to ballpark it, I'd say less than 2% have life insurance at all. Um, and that's sad because it's not like we're not talking about it. It's more or less it's a barrier to a lot of people. It's not something tangible. It's not something you can really see. It's not something you can wear. It's not something you can put on or any of that, or put on your car or anything. Even though car insurance and home insurance is the same, you can actually see your home. You can actually see your car. You can be like, yeah, I need to protect that. You see your family, you see your life, and not a lot of people think about it like that, but your life is like your most important asset. And very few people see the value in insuring it, which is it's a wild concept because it's just not anything tangible. Um, about what it's about, it's about the lion's share of it is passing on a legacy. A lot of that is that. A lot of it is, hey, I'm gonna die. Here's some money for the future. But what the conversation needs to be steered to is actually living benefits of it. The living benefits of insurance include like money you can retire with. Entrepreneurs need to definitely get life insurance, not only because of the business continuation side of it, the key person side of it, but just so you can basically fund your retirement. Most entrepreneurs don't have a traditional 401k or something like that, so they can use the life insurance to do that. Um, and it also will help you like buy yourself out of work if you do it right. I have mine set up in such a way that at certain intervals in my life, when they start being like fully, I guess the comparative word would be vested, I could start drawing the money out of them and kind of like taking more time off because now that money is still the same as if I'm working the same amount, but it's coming from a different place. So it gets really complicated into like the annuity side of it and annuitization. But basically, you take life insurance benefits. The benefits from them are called dividends. The dividends are not taxable. You turn the not taxable money into an annuity. An annuity pays you till you die, and that's basically how it works in a nutshell. So it's like I wish the dynamic would change a lot more around that conversation, but it's like anything else, man. Before people get on it, it's gonna take a long time, and a lot of people talking about it. I like the fact that it's not as when I got into the game, it was almost like no one talked about it, but now you got like rappers. Waka Flocka talked about it. T Grizzly talked about it. He was on a podcast about it. The Earn Your Leisure guys. You have it's becoming more mainstream to have conversations steered towards this and the living benefits of it. And there's a lot of opportunity for people to make money and use it while they're alive rather than just the death benefit of it.
You just told me some stuff I did not know, so I will be reaching out to you.
Absolutely.
I'll be completely honest, I'm definitely going to be reaching out to you. But can you tell people how many they should have? Because I remember having one through work.
Okay.
But then my cousin, who also does the same thing you do, she was like, "Why do you only have one?" Mm-hmm. And I didn't know you could have more than one. Just to be completely honest, in my mind, okay, I got check. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, okay, right. Like you said, house, car, now I got life insurance, check. I didn't know you could have more than one. You talk a little bit about it because I didn't know that.
Oh man, if I told you some of the stuff that you could do with life insurance, it would sound illegal. But then you kind of reverse engineer. You look at who built it and who it was for, and then you like, oh, okay, these are the forefathers and people that was making millions, and they wanted to not pay the government millions. So I'm not gonna get it. I don't want to get canceled or my car cut off on the highway and something happened to me because we know too much. But when you break it down, you can have almost as many as you qualify for, and the word is qualify. Qualify because everyone thinks, oh, I'll just get it later, or I got it through work, or I got it here. If you have it through work, great. Get as much as you can through work. If it's pennies on the dollar, nothing is going to be cheaper than a group life policy, period. However, the fact remains that if you have it through work, 98% of them don't have what's called a portability clause. A portability clause means you take that with you when you leave. You take it when you transfer up. You take it when you get promoted. A lot of times when you get promoted, sometimes you lose that benefit, or sometimes it changes it, or it resets, or you get into another job and you qualify for less because you've been at this job for 5-10 years. Now you're 5-10 years older. So you move on to another job and you got to qualify at, and if you were 40, you may be 50 now. Now your rates are based on a 50-year-old person. So I always tell everyone to get something outside of work. Unless you plan on dying at that job, it really does not always benefit you. And it's kind of a crutch because a lot of people will go and do that. They'll go hard and they'll have it at their job forever, but they don't ever look into it. They just know they have something. So they'll be like, nah, I don't need it. That's 95% of my customers like, no, I don't need it. I got it at work. Okay, cool. But do you know what you have? Number one. Number two, is it portable? Number three, is this the job you're going to stay at until you're done? Because if you go up in income at another job, they may be like, hey, we'll give you 20 grand more, but you don't got life insurance no more. Now you got to go get it on the open market, and you're that much older. Life insurance is only as cheap as the age you are today. So every day you age, it's more expensive. Every hour, anything that happens to you, something gets in your medical records, you get medical diagnosis, it changes everything. And again, it goes back to, can I qualify? It's a privilege, not a right. And a lot of people don't think about that. So they're like, oh, I'll just get it later. You might not qualify. There's certain medications that will disqualify people for life insurance forever. And not to get too deep into it, but a lot of it is prescribed kind of one-sided to certain dynamics and demographics of people. I'm gonna just leave that there. And if you do your research and do your deep dive on it, like a lot of the big prescription medications, they don't tell you the long side effects of it, like the far-reaching stuff. So a lot of that will kind of put people in a bad position when they do go to apply. So those are things that I look at all the time. I wrote 4 kids' life policies today. Parents didn't want to get into it. I'm like, look, man, I'm not going to push you, but I'm going to write this for these kids while they qualify, because if the kids have ADHD, they get labeled with something else, or they have bipolar down the line. You want to get it to them while they're at their most pure, I guess you can say, because if anything can alter their medical records, it's going to shoot their price up or disqualify them. So there's no limit to how many you can get as long as you qualify for them. That is probably the biggest. It hurts my heart. I get people coming here every day, 70, 80 years old, and I'm like, I got one policy for you, and you ain't gonna like the price. You're not gonna like it at all. And $600-700 a month is not something doable for everybody. Most people actually. So it changes the dynamic when you see qualifications for what's available to you.
I was literally getting ready to ask, tell them why you need an insurance agent, but you literally just answered that.
It's a lot, man. It's a lot of levers to pull. So you have to know what does what and what triggers what and what you can and cannot do. It's a lot. It's a lot.
Wow. Okay. Let's go back into you a little bit more.
Okay.
Let's do a couple fun questions. What was your very first job?
My very first job. Oh God, I'm about to show my age.